everybody to another video of Coding Cleverly. Today's video's topic is arrays, one-dimensional arrays, not two-dimensional, not three-dimensional, and we have covered that multi-dimensional arrays video. You could see a card on the top right corner where you could watch that video. Also, I did cover this video if you are watching my series extensively, so you have known that I have this video already covered, part 7, one-dimensional arrays. But you might ask, why am I doing this again? The reason to this is that I had requests from people where they said to me that there was issues with the production quality, particularly the audio and video sync issue. So what I did is just resolve it by making another video. So now here I have another video for you, and basically my purpose here is just to explain this in that kind of way where you have no idea what arrays are and you're just beginning on this arrays journey. So take a look at what arrays could be. Arrays are lower level constructs that require more work from the developer. Now I know this is something that you might not understand. So what an array is, basically it's a data structure, and data structures are those kind of structure in which you could store data. So our job here as developers is to maintain and use data as efficient as possible. So data we tend to use these awesome tools known as data structures to utilize and to make our use of data so efficient that we could run our programs fast and better. So data structures, one of those types is an array. Other type was a vector. I did have a video of vectors. You could watch that video. You could watch that video by clicking on the card on the top right corner. And arrays are basically not dynamic as what vectors are, because vectors tend to be more dynamic. They have more benefits, and arrays are basically static. And this type of data structure is extensively used in C, the predecessor of C++. So it's basically used in the old language, and I can't say that it's not used in C++. It is used here, but as the C language was before the C++, arrays were used instead of vectors. Now vectors came and others which are in the different libraries, but arrays have been also, and arrays are still being used. So we cannot neglect it. So let's type some code. So I'm going to include my IO stream, and I'm going to include my using namespace standard, and I'm going to include in main, and I'm also going to return that with a 0. So now here I have to create an array. So let's declare an array first. Let's see how you declare it. Now, important thing here is that declaration and initialization is done on the same line if you want an array, but in other cases you could do it. Now I'll tell you the reason why this is done in the same line. So suppose we have an example here. We are in a classroom and there's 27 students. Now the teacher wants to store everyone's grade in the computer. So how do we store it? Well, the teachers could make characters and a character array. Because why character? Because grades are like letters, right? A, or is it B, or is it C? So one of those methods, which is the tedious task, is to create 27 variables and store them respectively with their letters. And you know that the data type should be char. So it's going to be char, and you could say letter, and then you could have the letter specified as A, and then you could say char, and then you could have letter, and we could say that this is the roll number 1 grade, and this is roll number 2 grade, and you could say B. So this is actually a very long and tedious task, all the way to 27, and this could take a lot of time. So there's a better way to do this, and that is by using an array. So how do we do that? We're basically going to have the data type. You could do whatever you want, int, double, float. I'm using char in this case, so I would say grade, and I'm just this is the name of the array, so grade. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these square brackets. So this is the syntax of how to declare an array. You would put the size of it. So I want 27 students, so this is 27 here. Now issue here is that you cannot initialize it in a second line. So over here, if I try to do 27 and then I try to do this with the squiggly, right, I'm gonna get errors, and this is a concern with arrays because they are static. So you're gonna have to initialize it. So let's go with a little lower number. Let's say suppose they're just 4 students. Now the thing is that arrays are 0 indexed. This means that they start from 0 all the way to 3. Now you're gonna say, well, you missed 4 or something, but when you actually count it, it's 0, then it's 1, then it's 2, and then it's 3. So this means that there are 4, and it's 0 index, so it starts from 0. This is the first location, the second location, third, and fourth. The size is 4. So we're gonna try the initialization part over here. So we're gonna have to give the equaling sign, and then we're storing 5 students. So it's squiggly brackets. Now you put these single quotes because they're characters. So you could say the first roll number got a B, and then you could say the second roll number got a C. You could say the third roll number got a D. Now I know this is not a good class. So then there was a bright student that got an A, and now there's another student that got a B. So now these are stored. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now this is a lot. This is one more than we expected. So we have to delete one out. Let's delete this one. So now what you have is, this is 4. So it's starting from 0 all the way from here. 1, 2, and 3. So this is how it's indexed. So this is the 0 index, the 1 index, the 2 index, and the 3 index, and the total size of it is 4. So if I try to like access it, how am I going to access it? I'm going to use a for loop to show me the results. So I would say 4 into I is equal to 0, I is less than 4, which is the size, and I plus plus. Now I'm going to do the console output, and I will just show you what are the contents to this. So grade sub I, and then I could give an end line here, just give a carriage return to make the format more prettier. Over here what you're going to see is C D A B. So it's going to say CDAB. If you could execute, compile, and run this. C and then a dab, because end line, and then D, and then end line A, end line, and B. So our code worked successfully, and you know that it was less than 4, not equaling to 4. And if we did equaling to 4, that is out of bounds, because it's from 0 to 3. So if I, like for instance, I declared it in one line and I want to initialize it in the other, is that allowed? And then I specify the number of it, so I say 4, and then I try to initialize it like that. You would get an error, and it says over here, cannot convert angle brace enclosed initializer list to char in assignment. So there is an error here because it's an array. It's not a vector. You cannot initialize it dynamically. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the path and go back to my command directory, and I would just change it, and I would paste it here. Now I would like write the code. So G++, I know the name is arrays.cpp, and I want to name, I know it's by default A, so I'm just going to compile it, and you could see that over here it says array cannot convert brace enclosed initializer list to char in assignment. You cannot do that in assignment. So you cannot do this, and this is not allowed. The preferred way is to do that all in one single line. Another way to do it is something like, you could do it with a for loop. So for instance, you want to input it. So you have a declaration and initialization in one single line. So let me just write that clear so that you know that this is only done in a single line. So with a single line. And remember, this code is also linked to my GitHub, so you could like copy and view the code, change it, whatever you want to do. Now what you could do here is that you could assign values to it. So you could use a for loop. So I would just say over here I'm using input. I'm inputting values. So this is how I'm going to assign values to it. Now we know that there's nothing inside. I didn't put any grades. So I want to input using a for loop. And now this is a very awesome way to do it. So int I is equal to 0, and then I is less than 4, and then we have I plus plus, and then now let's have input, and then we're gonna say grade, and we're gonna put the sub and the number to it. So I know I can't specify the number, so here it's just keep on incrementing, so I would just put I. Now it's just gonna input it, and then after that it's gonna output it. So over here you're gonna see the output. So the output is over here, and let me just put a carriage return here. And over here you're gonna see the output. So let's see, and let's see over here you have to input some letters. So let's see, we'll give one person a grade of A, we give another person a grade of D, another person a grade of A, and another person a grade of D. Now you can see the same thing executed and printed out on the screen. So this is how you could use arrays. Not with just this, you could use them with bigger sizes. You could use 100, 200, 300, the sky's the limit. Change the types. You could change it to integer, you could change it to double, you could change it to whatever you want, and you could also change the dimensions. Now that is an awesome part. So this is actually one-dimensional array. You could change this to 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional, 4-dimensional, and you just could go beyond whatever you could think. So I have a multi-dimensional video. I will put the card on the top right corner. If you have the interest, you have the guts to take that video, you go take it and watch it and hopefully get some insights on it. So that was it with this video. I would conclude this video about arrays, and I hope you understood about it, and I hope you thought this was very easy. And yes, it's very basic. This is actually just for beginner purposes. There would be more advanced videos where I would explain data structures in depth. So keep supporting and keep continuing by supporting this channel and giving a like to the video. That would really help out. And I'm signing off now. Bye.